Okay, so I'm going to speak about what we call in IBM Power Acceleration and Design Center. I want to explain what they are, how we can engage and work with this center. Okay. So IBM and partners announced last year 3 Power Acceleration Center in Europe, but with a worldwide coverage. This center offers hardware, external access, but also technical collaboration, and the focus on this center is application. Only mainly application and research. No hardware, not other things. So the first one is in Montpellier. I'm the leader of this one. And forget to mention, all these centers are in collaboration with NVIDIA and Mellanox. Okay, that's important, and some with some clients and partners. So the first one is in Montpellier. We are focusing on technical collaboration, application programming, application tuning. I'm going to give you some detail in the next slide. The second one is in Germany. And it's a center in collaboration with Jülich Center, who are the friend here, and also with NVIDIA. And I will present also the activity of these centers. And what is interesting also, the last one, is not an IBM center. It's a center managed by UK Science and Facility Centers, what the name is STFC, or in Dresbury University. And they provide also technical collaboration, but also development of services, engineering, and not only in high-performance computing, but also in big data analytics and deep learning. So it's a little bit different compared to the center. The model also of engagement is a little bit different. All these centers offered hardware remote access. One specific characteristic we provide is we are not a cloud, because we have to identify partners, but we provide very early access hardware. For example, we have installing Pascal GPU already. We have beta version of all the compiler, sometimes alpha, but for the partners, we have only the agreement from laboratory to give access to the beta version, not alpha version, but you have a beta version for OpenMP, OpenACC, PGI, all the stuff we can imagine on Power, we can provide you the access. That's very important, that's the role of this Power Acceleration Center. And there is another one, but it's not really a client engagement. It in Poughkeepsie in US, provide a large system for benchmark. So let's give you some detail about Montpellier Center. So our focus is application. And we have 5 missions. The first one is to engage and support long-term collaboration. Long-term meaning 1-2 years, up to the pre-exaflop systems. And we have different customers. The first one is the French research, because we are in French, where we are working on application to anticipate application modification in terms of programming model, not only on the application, also on the design, new technology for the storage, bus buffer, all this technology. And we have collaboration in some other client, in oil and gas, financial market, of course, because with some bank. And we can provide some common communication for this collaboration. The second aspect, as I mentioned, is application enablement. And it's not, in this case, long-term collaboration, but you can work with you. We can work with ISV partners. We can provide some hackathon or session or education, what you want, mainly around power tuning and GPU tuning in this group. And of course, we are part of IBM, so you are included in the development process. That's why we can have access to the beta version and something like that. So the goal also of this center is not only to provide you the capability to test the product, but also to give feedback to the development. Because as you know, we are in the process, OpenMP, OpenACC, we're missing some feature, depending on the different domains. So we need the feedback from the client to help the development. So you can have a direct access, or the center can have a role like a go-between between you and the labs. And of course, you are IBM also, so we are running benchmark, comparing x86 power and for the customers. What is important to notice, I have provided for all the center the contact name and the email address. So you feel free to send a mail for any type of question regarding power, GPU, and this stuff. Okay, but it's only power and GPU, so it's a green box. But as you know, the power ecosystems is not only GPU and power. It's a different other acceleration or technical topic. And in the center, we provide also we have different groups. We have one group dedicated to the CAPI and FPGA acceleration. And so you work together to know what type of design can be the best, including GPU, but potentially GPU and CAPI and FPGA for the specific program. I will provide more detail about the center. We have one group working on Linux for VMs, Dockers, commercial application, big data, MongoDB, MariaDB, all this stuff, which is not in the high-performance domain, I would say. And the last one, which is very important also, it's about workload optimization and system optimization. We are working on batch scheduling between, you have now GPU, CPU, accelerator, multi-nodes, multi-tier storage. So it's very critical to optimize the workload. So our one team working on mainly on software for workload optimization and also on I/O, especially on parallel file system with GPFS or Spectrum Scale for IBM. Multi-tiers, you know, now we have buffer, as I mentioned, and NVRAM, flash, SSD, tape, cloud. So we need to optimize the workload and to be able to run anywhere, any place, any type of workload. So that the group is in charge of that. For the CAPI, if you're interested on CAPI, we can contact also our team. The mission is to promote existing CAPI block. I hope I will not make any mistake about that. But you can also engage this team to support a specific project about CAPI for the benchmark or proof of concept, or also to create an asset. The primary focus is ISVs and clients, but we can work with some other partner, university or commercial client. It's European coverage, primary, and Middle West Africa. I don't want to say if you are from US is not possible, but get engaged with the guy and they will be able to provide the right contact. And of course, we have a strong partnership with Xilinx, which is normal, and also with IBM Lab. This center is funded by IBM Labs. And you can have demonstration, briefing, a lot of type of service around this technology. Now, let's talk about Boeblingen Center. I would say it's pretty similar to the Montpellier centers, but there are something a little bit different. Let me explain. So, still working on application, Power 8, and Power 8 and GPU. It's a common center with NVIDIA, and with a strong collaboration with the German UD centers. They provide also consultancy about power. They are expertise in tuning and application porting. And what they provide, they can give you an access. They have a systems, not so big, but pretty consequent. And if you have a project, you can request time support on these systems. As I mentioned, it's an up-to-date technology. That's very important. We are not a cloud. We are the center. We want to provide the latest technology and even pre-GA technology. So I don't think there are a lot of systems in the center in the world who can give the capability to run on the Pascal systems at this time, except this power acceleration center. Okay, so just contact, and you have potentially the capability to have a slot and run on this environment. Some project you are working on, for instance, in different domain. So maybe astrophysics. What we are doing, we are trying to port the application, in this case, using OpenMP on GPU. We are working on genomic, also weather forecast, OpenFOAM for fluid dynamics, where the objective is really to demonstrate that power runs pretty well, but not only the fact to port and to run, to change the application to enable GPU. And as I mentioned, we are focusing on programming model with directive, OpenACC. Even if we can use CUDA, we really want to push OpenMP, OpenACC for this very complex and large application. Some other application in automotive and CFD. This is my latest slide. It's about this large center in UK. And normally the first objective is to support the UK customer, the UK environment. And not only in high-performance computing, but all different domains, HPC, of course, but visualization institute, big data, and cognitive. And we have a joint center with IBM Research about deep learning and cognitive. So this center, I would say, compared to the other one, are much more dedicated to big data and cognitive. At the same other the center, you can have expertise in technology, but the main difference, we can have also expertise in domain. So you can not only set up some porting, application, tuning, collaboration, but you can also set up technical collaboration and engineering in different domains. So they have in chemistry, environment modeling, materials. They can be able to develop a service you can host on these systems. They have a bigger systems compared to us. As you can see, there are around 30 nodes with a lot of memory, 1 terabyte per node, and they have a pretty strong IO5 systems. So it's that I mentioned, it's not only high performance computing, it's also big data. And they provide 4 types of engagement. The first one is a simple access without any support. So you're free access and you run. The second one, you have an access and you have a support in the different domain, especially providing by scientific computing guy. The third one is collaboration, project collaboration. As I mentioned, 2 domain, application and engineering. And the latest one is education, training, hackathon. So you can organize all this type of thing for you. The Raspberry, sometimes you have to pay, sometimes you don't have to pay. Normally, for the other center, is free because you are here to develop the business and to develop the ecosystems on Power. So you want to have more and more applications running on Power and the best as possible. That's the goal. The same. You have all the contact in the presentation. So if it's all for me today, so to adjust a brief idea to how to engage, you know it exists. It's for you. It's not for you only. It's also for IBM business, normal. But it's pretty pretty large capabilities. And as I mentioned, no other place in the world will be able to give you early access hardware or software, except the Power Accelerator Center from IBM. Okay, thank you very much.